This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Adventures of Pinocchio by C. Collodi. Translated by Carol Della Chiesa. Chapter 31, in which, after 5 months of play, Pinocchio wakes up one fine morning and finds a great surprise awaiting him. Finally, the wagon arrived. It made no noise, for its wheels were bound with straw and rags. It was drawn by 12 pair of donkeys, all of the same size, but all of different color. Some were gray, others white, and still others a mixture of brown and black. Here and there were a few with large yellow and blue stripes. The strangest thing of all was that those 24 donkeys, instead of being iron-shod like any other beast of burden, had on their feet laced shoes made of leather, just like the ones boys wear. And the driver of the wagon? Imagine to yourselves a little fat man, much wider than he was tall, round and shiny as a ball of butter, with a face beaming like an apple, a little mouth that always smiled, and a voice small and wheedling like that of a cat begging for food. No sooner did a boy see him than that boy fell in love with him, and nothing satisfied this boy but to be allowed to ride in the man's wagon to that lovely place called the Land of Toys. In fact, the wagon was so closely packed with boys of all ages that it looked like a box of sardines. They were uncomfortable. They were piled one on top of the other. They could hardly breathe, yet not one word of complaint was heard. The thought that in a few hours they would reach a country where there were no schools, no books, no teachers, made these boys so happy that they felt neither hunger, nor thirst, nor sleep, nor discomfort. No sooner had the wagon stopped than the little fat man turned to Lampwick. With bows and smiles he asked in a wheedling tone, "Tell me, my fine boy, do you also want to come to my wonderful country?" "Well, indeed I do." "But I warn you, my little dear, there's no more room in the wagon. It's full." "Never mind," answered Lampwick. "If there's no room inside, I can sit on top of the coach." And with one leap he perched himself there. "What about you, my love?" asked the little man, turning politely to Pinocchio. "What are you going to do? Will you come with us, or will you stay here?" "Oh, I stay here," answered Pinocchio. "I want to return home, but I prefer to study and to succeed in life." "May that bring you luck." "Pinocchio," Lampwick called out, "listen to me. Come with us, and we'll always be happy." "Oh, no, no, no. Come with us, and we'll always be happy," cried 4 other voices from the wagon. "Come with us, and we'll always be happy," shouted the 100 and more boys in the wagon, all together. "And if I go with you, what will my good fairy say?" asked Pinocchio, who was beginning to waver and weaken in his good resolutions. "Oh, don't worry so much. Only think that we are going to a land where we shall be allowed to make all the racket we like from morning till night." Pinocchio did not answer, but sighed deeply, once, twice, a third time. Finally he said, "Make room for me, I want to go too." "The seats are all filled," answered the little man. "But to show you how much I think of you, take my place as coachman." "Well, and you?" "I'll walk." "Well, no, indeed, I could not permit such a thing. I much prefer riding one of these donkeys," cried Pinocchio. And no sooner said than done. He approached the first donkey and tried to mount it, but the little animal turned suddenly and gave him such a terrible kick in the stomach that Pinocchio was thrown to the ground and fell with his legs in the air. At this unlooked-for entertainment the whole company of runaways laughed uproariously. The little fat man did not laugh. He went up to the rebellious animal and, still smiling, bent over him lovingly and bit off half his right ear. In the meantime Pinocchio lifted himself up from the ground and with one leap landed on the donkey's back. The leap was so well taken that all the boys shouted "Hurrah for Pinocchio!" and clapped their hands in hearty applause. Suddenly the little donkey gave a kick with his two hind feet, and at this unexpected move Pinocchio found himself once again sprawling right in the middle of the road. Again the boys shouted with laughter, but the little man, instead of laughing, became so